That goes to show you, though, that even over the 6 months, because when we started and we felt like we were getting hazed, like it was like joining this metal fraternity, the bus that we were on, with all of the guys from the tour manager to Mick to the guitar tech, to bass tech, drum tech, all the people, Rob, lighting director, everyone. It's just all the people on our bus. It was funny because as much as we developed a relationship with the black ticket holders, we really developed a relationship with that Metallica family as the crew, the people that worked for the band. Yeah. And we still are in touch with all of them. And the thing that happened that was the biggest thing that I was proud of was they said to Jim and I, because we would do things like when we had a night off, we'd be like, we're all going to go to Italian food. And they're like, what do you mean all? And I'm like, Jim and I are like, we're paying for the whole crew. Like, I'm seriously, all 150 people.
That's awesome.
We paid for every 150 people. We did a Metallica talent show in Portland.
Yes.
They all
by the crew.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest nights ever.
Oh,
we videotaped
I'm
it.
still hungover from that night.
Dude, we were moshing from one of the guys. One of the guys went up and did
Limp
Bizkit.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Yeah, Sean, who ran the museum, one of the guys that. Never,
dude, Kirk's tech. Justin, he was so damn funny on the bus, so sarcastic.
He did stand up.
You're going up and doing stand up,
and he killed.
He murdered doing stand up. And the coolest thing about this whole thing was, I don't know who it was exactly, Joe, but they said, "Can we just tell you, you guys united a crew that's been touring for years." He goes, you don't understand. The sound guys don't talk to the light guys. Yeah. The light guys don't talk to...
Two different departments.
The grips. The grips don't talk to... It's not that they hate, but we don't talk to... You brought the entire... Everybody together.
His quote was, we don't hang out together.
Right.
That's what their quote was.
He goes, we don't hang out together.
We don't... Right. He goes, a lot of the guys said, Joe, you don't understand. On this bus... The way it worked before you guys got here, we've toured together so long. So-and-so and so-and-so goes to the back lounge. So-and-so goes to the front. We don't talk to each other. He goes, now all of a sudden, we're all in the front lounge hanging out. Yeah. We're listening to music. We're playing guitars. What was James's guitar tech?
Zach?
Meow.
No, Zach is trio.
Oh, my God.
Chad. We started. This is true. This is true.
Is so
we
funny.
started to learn what each guy. So because we were
their strengths.
We were the first guy on the bus. We were the first guys on the bus every night after the show. So when they didn't like us, they warmed up to us because I realized that Chad liked his two Pepsis, these little cans of Pepsis, and he liked his food over there. The other guy liked his Jack Daniels. The other guy liked his beers. And Jim and I would have the whole bus set up. So we treated it like a restaurant. Like these dudes would come on from working all day. We'd have Italian music on.
Right.
We'd be making martinis.
Right.
And when we first
amazing.
started doing it, they were like, what the hell? And we're like, yeah, dude, martini. They're like, what? We're like, yeah. They're like, are you listening to Dean Martin right now? I'm like, yeah. Dude, we got And then they would look at us. They would look at us like, what? But we knew what they liked to drink. We knew what they liked to eat. One guy was like on a special diet. He couldn't have it. We'd get that for him.
Broccoli.
Yeah,
We called him broccoli.
Yeah, he was the only vegetarian on the bus, so we called it broccoli. But the thing that ended up happening was we all started hanging out together. Yeah. And the best thing that I loved was when it was all over, they said, Joe, man, you and Jim, we didn't really hang out with each other. And we do now.
They were pushing for us to go on the stadium tour.
Oh, in Europe.
They wanted us. They were like, we got it. We can make this work. Like, we could totally make this work. You guys should be good in the stadiums. And I was like, that's a different ball game, bro.
Yeah.
Stadium,
I felt
and
like
they can't speak English. It's a whole different show. I don't know if we're ready for that. Let's stick to U.S. arenas if they ever allow that again.
The analogy that Jim and I came up with was I felt like every night we did the opening act for Metallica and went out there, that Jim and I were like the bomb squad guys. And one snip of the wrong wire, which meant the wrong song you played, or one bit that he did that might not go, they would turn on you. You knew the energy would turn in a second. Yep. And I remember every night we just got so good at, and I'm sure there's people listening like, oh, I went to the show and it wasn't what I thought, but I know for a fact, I know when you're not connecting, and we connected, and then the fans, but the band, and also we were learning it as we went. But I felt like after it was done, I was like, I don't think we could ever do this again. Like, because other bands asked Jim, hey man, would you do that with us? And we thought about doing it. And then Jim said to me, he goes, I'm just not a fan of them like I am.
I
with
have
Metallica.
to be a fan.
And I was like, oh shoot,
I could do
right.
it if it was Judas Priest. I would absolutely murder in front of that crowd.
Yeah.
If it was AC/DC, absolutely destroy, murder. They'd have the greatest time ever. Outside of that, it's because it was Metallica. And one thing too, Lars said to me, which I was very flattered by the end. In the very beginning, and he goes, now listen, you're creating whatever you're creating, don't create to a huge crowd. You're going to be very disappointed. And I quote, you're lucky if there's like maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 when you're on stage. Oh, not. By the third show, there was 10,000, 15,000. So I don't know if it was the weather or they were like, hey, man, we're kind of digging what's going on here. It ain't that painful. You might want to check it out. And literally, the crowds were never empty when we were up there. We never got booed off a stage.
Yep.
It was...
Yeah, we never.
Never.
Not one time did the audience turn on us.
Except for Madison first show.
Madison. And
I couldn't
we
help
deserved
that.
it. We deserved it.
We deserved it.
We deserved it. We should have came prepared instead of drinking beers saying how excited we were to go on tour with the band.
That's how you prepare for something.
That's right.
Yeah, but the best part was though is every night when we ended the show and Jim would be like, he would come out and be like, they're ready. And we knew they were literally waiting to go. Right. And he'd be like, thank you guys so much. My name is Jim Breuer. Have a great rest of your night. And then it was the best feeling in the world because I got to cue Long Way to the Top. And that's that was the last song that we would play. Yeah. And I remember it just felt so good to play that song. And it was like, I'd close up the soundboard. We would walk backstage and I'd always have a beer and we'd sit there and they'd all be ready to go. And I remember, you'd be walking through this tunnel and it was so exciting because Jim and I are walking out of there and all the fans, like, you've seen in movies, like where they look down at you. If anyone was going to throw a beer or give us the middle finger, they were high-fiving us.
Yeah.
And it was like, you felt like, oh man, we did this. And then you walk through the curtains and then there's the band.
Yep.
Yeah. And I remember Jim, he would always go over and they'd be like, Breuer, and they'd hug him. And I was always like, I just want to get out of the way. I don't want to get away. And then Breuer comes back to me one night. He goes, dude, what are you doing? And I go, what? He goes, James went to give you a fist pump and you totally denied him. You were so busy with your laptop. And I go, are you serious? He goes, dude, you left James hanging. And I was like, oh my God. That was my luck.
Check out the Breuniverse every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. If you can't wait till then, sign up for Patreon and get it a day early, along with other exclusive content.